All right, let's hop in our little time machine for a minute. We're setting the dial for October 2025. Why? Because that one single month might just have been the most wild, fast-paced, and genuinely game-changing period in the entire history of AI.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That is a huge claim, the fastest month ever. But honestly, just stick with me here, because the evidence is kinda overwhelming. In just 31 days, AI didn't just take a step forward, it felt more like it strapped on a jetpack.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? What on earth could happen in 1 month to earn a title like that? What series of breakthroughs all hit at the same time? Well, that's what we're here to do. We're going to unpack the whole thing piece by piece.
Okay, so let's get into it. We'll start with the stuff you could actually see and feel. The major upgrades to the AI models we all use every day. The ones that suddenly got a whole lot faster, way more fair, and frankly, almost frighteningly creative.
All the big players just dropped these massive updates. But what's really interesting is that it wasn't just about being bigger, they were getting specialized. Claude's Haiku model literally doubled its speed, which is perfect for those customer service chatbots that, don't make you want to scream anymore. ChatGPT got a much smarter memory, so it could actually hold a real conversation over time, making it an amazing tool for tutoring or even therapy. And then there was GPT-5.
And this is where it gets really important. Just look at this chart. A 30% drop in political bias? That was a massive deal. We're talking about a huge reduction in the model's tendency to lean one way or another, to answer questions with a built-in slant. This was one of the biggest complaints about AI, and taking a step this big was crucial for making it a trustworthy tool for something as sensitive as journalism or policy.
So while the language models were going to ethics class, the creative AIs basically kicked down the doors in Hollywood and announced, hey, we got this. Seriously, the jump in text-to-video generation was just absolutely wild.
And look, we are not talking about those weird, clunky 5-second clips anymore. Google's Veo was pumping out video that was so realistic, it looked like it came from a major studio. At the same time, OpenAI's Sora 2 was creating entire short films, several minutes long, from a single sentence. On the one hand, it was a dream for independent creators. On the other, it just threw a ton of gasoline on the raging fires of deepfakes and copyright lawsuits.
But here's the thing. As cool as making a movie just by typing a sentence is, the truly mind-bending stuff wasn't happening on a computer screen. It was happening in science labs. This is where AI stopped being just a clever tool and started becoming a real partner in discovery.
Just take a look at that number. 25 times faster. That's what Harvard's new tool, PDGrapher, was achieving in drug discovery. To put that in perspective, a research project that would normally take a whole year could now be done in about 2 weeks. That is not just an improvement, that's a whole new ballgame for medicine.
So how in the world did it do that? Well, it's not magic, even though it kind of sounds like it. Think of the AI as the most dedicated research assistant imaginable. One that never sleeps, never gets tired, and can read and understand 1 billion pages of biological data in an afternoon. It finds those tiny genetic needles in the haystack that humans might spend years searching for. It was turning years of painstaking lab work into weeks of pure computation. And here's the secret sauce, according to AI pioneer Yoshua Bengio. The new models weren't just spitting out the final answer anymore, they started showing their work, just like in math class. They would generate all the logical steps they took to get to a conclusion. And that change was everything, because it meant scientists could actually follow, verify, and trust the AI's reasoning. It made them a true scientific partner.
And once that happened, the breakthroughs started popping up everywhere. DeepMind's AI was proving brand new theorems in pure mathematics. In medicine, an AI came up with a totally new idea about how cancer cells work, and then helped validate it. And at Stanford, they created a system that let AI models talk to themselves to get smarter, boosting their own performance for a fraction of the cost. The AI was starting to have its own aha moments.
Right, so when technology moves that fast, what happens next is predictable. Society basically scrambles to figure out what the new rules are. All this incredible progress kicked off a mad dash of policymaking, new regulations, and some really tough conversations around the globe.
And you could see this happening in real time. On October 10th, Italy's new AI law went into effect. A week later, the entire EU was launching new strategies to make AI more transparent. And by the end of the month, India was facing a crisis as those super-fast chatbots started displacing huge numbers of call center workers. Everyone was trying to build the plane while it was already in the air. So, this is it. This is the key that unlocks this entire story. The creative tools, the science labs, the social upheaval, they weren't just random events happening at the same time. They were all symptoms of one single, massive shift in how artificial intelligence actually works. The dawn of something called Agentic AI.
So what the heck is that? Well, put simply, it's the difference between an AI that answers a question and an AI that achieves a goal. It's no longer just a reactive tool that waits for your command. Now you can give it a complex, multi-step project, and it will plan, reason, and act on its own to get it done.
And this comparison here is the perfect way to think about it. Classic AI was like the world's most brilliant librarian. You ask it anything, it finds the perfect answer. Agentic AI, though, that's like having your own dedicated team of researchers and assistants. You don't ask it, what's the weather? You tell it, plan and book my entire weekend trip, and it just goes and does it. That leap from a passive tool to an active system, that was the real revolution.
And the second that switch was flipped, it unlocked a whole new world of possibilities. At home, you could tell an AI, plan my meals for the week, create a shopping list, and order the groceries for delivery. But think bigger. You could now task an AI with designing and running an entire marketing campaign, or even assisting a surgeon by executing complex steps during an operation.
Which, of course, brings us back to the big looming question. October 2025 gave us this incredible glimpse of the potential of this technology, but it also threw the risks into sharp relief. Job displacement, misinformation on a scale we've never seen, all the ethical nightmares of truly autonomous systems. The code is definitely writing itself now, faster than any of us ever imagined. And it leaves us all wondering, is it rewriting our world for the better or for something else entirely?